there is always a quote, a sentence that I like quoting of a certain Canadian teacher. He's a living Canadian teacher. His name is John de Ruyter. And he says, waking up is not necessarily easy. You get to see why all this time you chose to sleep. You see? And I love this sentence because it means that waking up is not just the wonder of waking up, but also the awareness of ignorance, you see. And that is not the fun part. And the greater the light, the greater the pain or that we experience when we fall into ignorance. You see, because we become so much more sensitive. So much more sensitive that we suddenly know what it means, how full and how deep life is when it is steeped in awareness, and how shallow and how forgetful or pointless life is when it is without awareness. Because awareness makes life real. You see? Awareness makes life real. Without it, life is a dream. Sometimes people say life is a dream anyway, but this is not true. Life is real when there is awareness. You see? A flower finally becomes real when there is awareness, because that is the missing half of life. Life always goes together, awareness and experience. Awareness and phenomena. This is how life exists in completeness. And we are there to acknowledge that. So yes, there is a growing sensitivity, and that is sometimes painful because we feel the contraction. But here is then where we should be also forgiving. You see, because if I forget, I become forgetful, and suddenly life is devoid of awareness, and there is pain, then there is also self-condemnation. Then there is also worry or self-beating. I reproach myself. Be aware. Where is your awareness? Where is your enlightenment? And so on and so on. And that creates further conflict and certainly doesn't help darkness to dissipate, you see. You cannot dissipate darkness with darkness. And self-condemnation is darkness, you see. Self-reproach, anger, it's again tightening. It's also when I say, I must be awakened now. Now, this makes me like this, right? On the contrary, I need to ask myself, what happens when I don't try to be awakened now? Then suddenly it is here, you see? Because awakening is the least amount of intervention on our part. It is when you reach the minimal intervention, you have reached the most delicate state. You hold your hand like this. Then whether it is right now a moment full of awareness or a moment full of darkness, suddenly it is not even important, you see? What is important is your approach. So if instead of condemning or trying, you are at that moment of darkness, you become aware, you bring back the lamp, you see? You make it return because you're not tightening, you're not dividing yourself at that moment. So then inside darkness, light is revealed. Do you understand? Don't try to dispel the darkness. Simply, very gently, very silently, open up in its presence, in its midst.